gosh, I need to have it, and then I get it and it does absolutely nothing for me just because my skin is completely different. No one's inspecting your face, right?
Your face.
On medication, I think it's Roaccutane.
Clean and Clear.
Clean and Clear, Clean and Clear.
The nose strips. Did you ever use the nose strips?
I used the nose strips. I used everything. My skin was clear. I'd look and I'd be like, oh my gosh, all I'm seeing is acne. I generally didn't quite know what was causing my breakouts. I was just there like, oh my god, panicking.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 2, and I have got the amazing Lana. So Lana is a digital marketing expert, wizard, witch,
definitely.
Who runs the Diary Rose Digital. Who did my website, the Skin Coach website, which is amazing.
One of my favourites. One of my favourites.
She's also an influencer and blogger.
Yeah, it's such a funny word, isn't it? That influencer.
Yeah, when you say it, like when you call yourself an influencer, you're like,
oh yeah, you're like, oh, influencer. But even if you have one follower, you're kind of already an influencer.
If you're like saying to do something or try something, then I guess you are. And
I think we're just gonna embrace the world.
Yeah, definitely. And you are also a social media coach. As well. How do you find that in life?
Love it. Yeah, I love everything that I do, and I'm a bit of a geek when it comes to social media. So so I love crunching the numbers behind the platforms and also creating the beautiful content. And the best thing is I get to teach some amazing brands on how to love social media as well. Because even now, so many people get like a little bit phobic and they really don't love the platforms.
I think like it's good to have like a support system in all parts of your life, whether it's like life coaching, skin coaching, business coaching, social media coaching. How do you find, because I know that you've been on the 4-week skin program and you do life coaching as well, how does support affect you and why is it needed?
I think I was really skeptical before I kind of started doing all of these little coaching things because it's something that I've never done before. So obviously being on the skin program, the results immediately, like from kind of being really skeptical about it.
So good.
And they were so good, and and I was kind of having a little bit of like a really hectic time in my life as well. So
can we just say, while we had the 4-week skin program on, Lana had a fall down the stairs. Like
it was a permanent scar.
It was really bad.
It was really bad.
She sent me pictures and I was like, oh my god, what have you done?
And it was the most boring story ever because I was literally at home in fluffy slippers and I had wooden stairs and I wish there was another story to this scar, but it was literally...
Maybe just make one up.
I keep trying to tell people I'm a ring fighter, but they're just not accepting that.
And your dog was on...
Yeah, and my dog was really sick as well at the same time, so I had to sleep with him downstairs and I wasn't sleeping and he wasn't sleeping, so it was a bit of a tough time.
One of Lana's like probably skin problems where we kind of identified the problem from was stress.
Oh, massively. That was like the first thing.
The most stressful time in the 4-week skin program.
Yeah.
Both of those things happened. But you still had amazing results.
Like, I did, yeah.
How did you find like some of the things I was telling you to do? How did you find that helped through the stressful situations?
It was just nice to have something to focus on, I think, at the time as well, and kind of set these little goals. And obviously the book that came with the program, I absolutely love that. The journal, and although it took me a little while to get into it, but once I got into the routine of actually filling it up, I could see the patterns of where my breakouts were happening. So it was just trying to manage the stress, and I think the kind of, the one-on-one approach that you also had by doing the live sessions, so you were checking in with people all the time, it was just nice to kind of go, okay, I've got a problem with this, or like I don't really understand why my skin's flared up. So it was definitely having somebody there was so important, and that I think that was where the value was huge in this program.
Yeah, definitely. I think like on my own experience with my business coach, like it's nice to just have someone there, because like say your partner is there for you and loves you and listens to you whinge all the time, he might not want to know about like something
Yeah.
Or
they might not be that interested as well sometimes, you know, especially when you talk about business and things. I know that my other half, he just kind of, you know, he's like, he loves, you know, he listens to me and he loves me dearly, but
they don't engage and have like creative ideas and just like different things that you can do. Whereas I think having someone specifically there to kind of guide you and have ideas and talk you through like stressful situations, it is like such a, I don't know, weight off your shoulders almost.
It's almost like a really nice partnership, you know, like I used to look forward to like the Friday lives that you were doing at the time, and it just gives you this little, you know, that little touch point. And actually ever since I've done that coaching program, I've then also have a lifestyle coach and a mindset coach, and you know, and it's having that checking in with a professional, I think, you know, which is why my skepticism has completely disappeared when it comes to coaching, because you know, as a skin expert, you know exactly what you're doing, so you can help others, and you know, and then somebody who's like amazing at life and mindset coaching, you know, they know again they can guide you through these times, or when companies need social media because they hate it or they don't know what they're doing. It's just having that.
Things can stress you out if you don't know how to use something. It can be so stressful,
and not all things can be fixed with YouTube, right?
I've messaged Lana and be like, I need help, and like she's just been like, oh, you just do this, and I'm like, okay, it's just taken like 2 hours to be really stressed and like try and sort this problem out, and you literally just done it in a second. So.
I think there's no shame in asking for help, you know, with different areas of like, especially, you know, if you're not that amazing at something or you just don't know the answer, or like, you know, I generally didn't quite know what was causing my breakouts. I was just there like, oh my god, panicking about this, and then I'm like, this is making it worse because my trigger's stress, so I'm like, I'm literally making the situation worse. Yeah, exactly.
No, definitely. I think like having someone there is just the key, and I know that like parents and partners and friends, they can be there in a certain aspect, but they also have their lives as well. So I think the person that you're paying to be coached by, it's their job, and you know it's their job, and you know that they are going to be there. So,
and I think people get, you know, they become coaches and they become experts in certain areas because they're so passionate about it as well.
Yes,
so
definitely.
You know, that's where
so they love it.
Yeah, exactly.
They want to help.
Totally. Yeah.
I know that we spoke ages ago, and you had problems as a teen with acne.
I had really bad acne when I was a young teen. I think it actually started when I was about 12, and the hormones kicked in, and it was quite a lot. So I went through loads of things to try and help. You know, I was on medication. I think it's Roaccutane.
Clean and Clear.
Clean and Clear. Yeah, Clean and Clear.
The nose strips. Did you ever use the nose strips?
I used the nose strips. I used everything. I remember my mum started even like making me these homeopathic like masks from oats and things. You know, we tried everything, and it just would not go away. So then it finally did. You know, and I think it was just because I kind of almost grew out of it. My hormones settled. I was then also, you know, on different kinds of medication for it, so just seeing what worked and what didn't. But the funny thing is that even though I kind of stopped having acne, probably when I was about, I'd say like 18, 19, for several years after that, I still, like, I'd look in the mirror and my skin was completely clear, and you can even look back in the pictures of me then, my skin was clear. I'd look and I'd be like, oh my gosh, all I'm seeing is acne. So it took quite a long time to kind of get to a point where I was just comfortable, you know, leaving the house with no makeup on, or like even seeing people with no makeup. But it took me a very long time.
It's so hard because I think like as much as it is just a spot or just a breakout, when you look in the mirror you just think, oh my god, everyone can see this. And like, even if you are like going through like the worst period of time and you like your whole face is breaking out, not many people actually look at you. And I know that sounds really weird, but nobody actually, like...
No one's inspecting your face, right?
Your face, like, at all. And, like, even when it has gone and you think, oh my god, I'm all scarred and it looks awful.
It's like, don't notice.
Yeah, like, nobody actually cares.
You know what? That's exactly what I was just about to say. As horrible as it sounds, just check in, and the amount of people that you're worried about, 99.9% of the time, they're really not going to care what your face looks like.
No, so if you are like worried what other people are going to think, like, I don't even think they notice.
They don't notice.
No.
And also, as long as I think you're comfortable in your own skin,
definitely,
then you'll be absolutely fine. And if somebody is being a little bit, you know, not very nice about a skin condition, then
put them in the bin.
It's a reflection on them, exactly. Put them in the bin. That's a reflection on the kind of person they are. Definitely not on the way that you look.
Another question I would love to ask is, being an influencer, I know that you get sent products to try out. How do you find that? Like, I'm hopefully not going to get you in trouble here. But like, is there any like products where you think, oh God, like this isn't good, or do you know what I mean? Like, how do you represent stuff to your audience, or like, how do you go about like trying different things all the time?
It's hard. It took me, it's such a hard life.
Yeah, trying to say no creams. It's so hard.
I came out so wrong, guys. It's such a hard life. What I meant to say was, it was hard for me to get into the routine from a point of view of, like you said, you know, it takes time for a product to work. Yeah. So often cases, you know, brands kind of send you something and then they want that to happen quickly. But I can't do that, because I know that, you know, having a cream or anything and using it once or twice, that's not really going to give me 100% results. It could be that, you know, that my skin flares up after that, or it could be that it's absolutely amazing. I need to give it a little bit of time. So I've just kind of worked that into my T's and C's when I work with companies, and just say to them, you know, expect to post kind of like 3 to 4 weeks time once I've had the chance to test the product. But I'm also very picky with the brands that I work with, just because, again, I think, you know, as any blogger or influencer, you have to have some kind of responsibility in recommending a product. So I only ever kind of work with brands that either I've always wanted to try, or brands that I would buy myself. So I can, you know, I can 100% then recommend them to my audience. But I have actually had times where I've just had to say like no to a review, because
you have to be honest.
You have to be
like, your
honest,
audience trust you and stuff like that. So you don't really want to be like, yeah, this is great, when it's actually
not. Or, you know, or you have to be really fair as well. So if there's a product and it is, you know, maybe it is good, but maybe the asking price for it or the retail price for it is a bit high, and I always kind of say that, and I think that's valuable feedback to the brands as well, because then they can kind of take that away. But I mean, yeah, it's great and I do love it, but yeah, it's nice, but I kind of only work with like a handful of brands at the moment, like especially when it comes to skin and body care, just to keep that consistency.
Yeah, definitely. I think it is important to remember as well, like with an influencer, it's really good to get to know their skin. Yeah. Because if something works for them and their skin is totally different to your skin, then it may not be great for you. So I would say, like, I know, Lana, you've been on the 4 Week Skin program, so you've talked a lot about your skin. So for the people that are kind of reading and listening to your content, they can kind of gather if their skin is similar or if it's not, because there's nothing worse than, I know my little cousins have done it, brought products from an Instagram influencer that has like terrible acne, and my little cousins are like 12 and they've literally like got the perfect, like beyond perfect skin.
It's
and I'm
like so nice and soft and clear.
Like, you don't need that product. Like, don't listen to them. Their skin is like nothing like yours. So
definitely, and you know, and I've fallen into that trap as well. Nobody's protected, you know. I've got my favorite bloggers and influencers, and when they talk about a cream, I'm just like, oh my gosh, I need to have it, and then I get it, and it does absolutely nothing for me, just because my skin is completely different from theirs. So yeah,
so I definitely think that is an important thing to make sure. But
100%, yeah. You kind of, you have to learn to know your skin, and I did a review of the 4 Week program as well. So again, people can kind of like get to know what my skin is, and I got to know it better as well, being on the program. So now I kind of know, like, oh, okay, well, this area. And another thing that I found fascinating is that you don't have to use the same product across your entire face.
No,
I'm dumb. I was just like, it has to be the same thing. But actually, when you were like, no, you can do this and this and this, and I'm like,
so
that
you
makes
can patchwork your skincare. So if you have got like one area that's got blackheads, you can put like a certain cream or a serum that's going to help like diminish all the oils and everything like that. You don't have to put it everywhere, because everywhere might not be oily.
Yeah.
And then it might be causing damage because you're stopping like the oil which it actually needs.
Yeah. And I think it's so hard as well, because like you said, when you've got different areas of the skin, for example, the oily bits, you know, and I was kind of like, it was always a choice for me, like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Do I sacrifice like this area which is really dry, or this area which is really oily? So I don't know why, but like I never knew that, and it's such a simple thing to kind of wrap your head around.
I think like with the skin program, like some of the things are so simple, and you can Google things and it's there, like the information is there. But I think when you're actually told it, or like you speak to someone and the person's like, okay, well, have you tried this? And you're like, oh, no, that's my answer to everything. But like, it's just like having someone to like remind you, just, you know, the little simple things.
Exactly, just checking in with you and being like, dude, have you actually, you know, washed your face several times? No, you've had, you know, been on a couple of nights out, and that's probably why you're getting spots right now.
Okay. It's like other things as well, like people don't do like a double cleanse, and obviously like the IGTV, like that, the one I did, the first one, that got so many like
like a beauty brand, you know, used it the other day, I saw in your Insta stories, it's amazing. But again, that's something that people don't really
everyone was messaging me and was like, oh my god, like I didn't know double cleansing was a thing, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, you need to start. But it's
all those like little nuggets of wisdom that you can pick up when you're working with somebody
it's just
in
the
a certain
little
area.
Things that are like so gold to everything. But
and I think it doesn't have to be complicated, you know, as well, from a skincare routine to like to anything else. Keeping it simple but knowing how to do it right is the key.
That is 100%. Like obviously on the 40 Skin program, I spoke to you about a skin routine, and like the more simple, I'm sure I like got rid of like 10 million of your products. I was like, you don't need this, you don't need that, like you just need like the 3 things, and got amazing results. Where can they find you?
Where can they find me? Okay, so you can find me over on Instagram. I literally live on Instagram, and my tag is at Lana Suhova. And you can also find me on Twitter, on Facebook, on Pinterest, Dallery Rose, and my website, which is www.dalleryrosedigital.co.uk.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
It's been amazing, and hopefully one day soon we'll be back to have another chat. But I hope you guys have enjoyed this, and I'll see you next time.